The night my wife's boss showed up at our home with a gun was the night his empire died.
The night Stephen Denton, Wall Street superstar, serial predator, crashed into our apartment with a gun in his hand was the moment I realized how close justice and danger can sit side by side. But our story didn't start with violence. It started with a text message my wife sent me on a Tuesday evening. "We need to talk. Now." After 17 years of marriage, I knew those words meant something had gone terribly wrong. I found my wife, Claire, in our dark kitchen. She never cried. Not when her father passed. Not when we miscarried. But that night her mascara was smeared, her suit was still on, and a glass of wine sat untouched. "What happened?" I asked. Her voice cracked. "It's Stephen." He put his hands on me. Stephen Denton, her boss at BNY Mellon. The Harvard Golden Boy with a reputation for mentoring women in ways HR politely ignored. She told me everything. How he cornered her in an archive room, his hand sliding onto her thigh. How he whispered that her dream account was hers if she was open-minded about her career trajectory. Rage isn't even the word for what I felt. But rage doesn't win wars, evidence does. And we were about to build enough to collapse an empire. Over the next 2 weeks, I watched the woman I loved disappear. She lost weight. She jumped every time her phone buzzed. Stephen was sabotaging her in meetings, excluding her from calls, then mocking her for not being prepared. He wanted her scared. He wanted her desperate. He didn't know he was pushing her toward the one man who would make him regret it all. Me. We began documenting everything. Every inappropriate comment, every retaliatory action, every witness. Claire installed a hidden recording app on her phone. 10 days later, she captured the smoking gun. His voice clear as day. "That dress looks incredible on you, Claire. Makes me wonder what's underneath. Corner office opens next month. If you're willing to discuss it at my Hamptons place." I squeezed her hand. "We've got him." But she shook her head. "Not yet." She was right, we needed more. So I started digging. I found Monica Santos, Stephen's former assistant who vanished from Wall Street 6 years ago. At first, she refused to talk, but when I told her about Claire, she changed her mind. 3 days later, Monica called, then Alyssa, then Jennifer. 3 women, all bound by NDAs, all ready to break them. Stephen had left a trail of victims, and now every buried secret was about to surface. The morning Claire filed her formal complaint, Stephen detonated his retaliation bomb. Her login was deactivated, her office locked. He accused her of data theft, a felony, a career killer, but he was sloppy. A young IT tech named Dave met us behind the building, chain-smoking nervously. He handed Claire a USB drive. "He logged into your account at 1 a.m., he whispered. "Planted fraudulent files. Tried to frame you." Claire trembled, asking why he'd help. Dave looked away. "Because my sister used to work for him. She almost didn't survive what he did to her, and just like that, our case was airtight." Claire marched into that boardroom with her attorney. The coup, the head of legal, the HR director, they were all there. Stephen Denton was not. They offered settlements, bonuses, NDAs. Claire rejected them all. "No deal unless he's fired." Publicly, the room went silent. The next morning, the call came. Stephen Denton had been terminated. Claire was promoted to senior VP and asked to lead the bank's harassment reform initiative. We thought it was over. We were so wrong. He showed up at our door that night, drunk, raging. He broke the chain, screaming, "You took everything!" Then he pulled out a gun. I stepped in front of Claire. He pointed it at her. I didn't think. I just moved. I swung the baseball bat I kept by the door into his wrist. The gun flew. Claire pepper-sprayed him until he hit the floor, screaming. Minutes later, police dragged him away. It was finally, truly over. The scandal exploded. BNY Mellon executive arrested after sexual harassment allegations. Stephen took a plea deal, 5 years in prison. The NDAs were broken, exposing a pattern of abuse. Claire became the face of a new movement at the bank. Then, one day, Goldman Sachs called, offering her a new division and double her salary, admiring her integrity. She laughed, tears shining in her eyes. After everything, being valued again felt like breathing for the first time. Months later, a young analyst at her new firm whispered, "I was told." You're the one who helps women like me. Claire squeezed her hand and said, "You're not alone." And she meant it. Predators believe they're invincible. But they forget one thing. When good people stop being quiet, the empires they build on silence will always crumble. Thanks for watching.